Another BGP attribute that we can use to influence the traffic returning to our system is the lowest origin type. So this is the step number 5. If everything is equal up to this point, we can use the lowest origin type to influence the return traffic. And IGP versus incomplete. EGP does not exist anymore. So what I did, I rearranged my diagram again. Internet 1 and 2 are now one autonomous system connected to AS500. It's AS100. And there are 2 exit points to that autonomous system, one through R1 and one through R2. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to advertise maybe 2 VLANs, VLAN 2 and VLAN 4 into that system, but using different methods. So on R1, let's just say, let's go first to R1. First of all, do I have those VLANs? So show IP route 10120, I have it, learn via OSPF, and for also via OSPF. So what I can do now quickly, I will match on those using prefix lists. So what I'm gonna do is IP prefix list, I call it VLANs, permitting 10.1.2.0/24 exact match, and the same with 4. So now do show IP prefix list. So I have 2 VLANs with a sequence number 5 and 10. So I'm matching on VLAN 2 and 4. I'm going to create a route map here. Actually, I'm going to do the same thing on the other router. Okay, and I'll do the same thing on this other exit point. And that's for a next lab. So in here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually go for router BG, actually route map first. I'll call it into BGP, permit 10. And what I'm going to say, match IP address, prefix list, VLANs. And that's it. And that's what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to go to router BGP, and on 2 different gateways, I'm going to use 2 different methods to introduce those VLANs into BGP. So on R2, I am going to go and use 500. I'm going to use a network statement. So obviously that prefix list is only for the next exercise I'm going to be doing. I'll say network 10.1.2.0 mask 255.255.255.0, and the same with 4. Now, since I did this locally on R2, I'm going to go ahead and say show IP BGP, and regular expression only the ones I originated. So this AS originates those 2. And here, this I at the very end of my prefix record is called origin code. So I stands for IGP. So it is indicating that I used network statement to advertise that. And that one has a better ranking in terms of path selection than incomplete. How would I introduce incomplete? So if I go to, let's say here, do show IP BGP regular expression originated by our own autonomous system, this guy gets it here as well. Now there's an R here. This R stands for RIB failure, which means that we have this information already in the routing table from the beta source. Now what is that beta source? It's OSPF. We saw that we learned that via OSPF. Now BGP is now learned via IBGP. The code is incomplete, so this is the two different I's. This means that it is learned via IBGP, and IBGP administrative distance is 200 versus versus the OSPF 110, and this is the origin code. Now I can do so with our Internet 1 show IP BGP. Regular expression learned from the neighboring system. Regular expression is 500 followed by card 500 followed by space. So what it is learning is that the gateway 10.1.10.1 would be used for those prefixes, and the code is IBGP. Now on R1, what I'm going to do, I'm going to redistribute those same prefixes into BGP. So I advertise them here on R2 towards AS100, but now on R1 I'm going to do the same thing, only via redistribution of prefixes. So that's going to have a different code or type, which is going to be incomplete. So what I'm going to do on R1 is, now I'm going to say redistribute from OSPF1, I'll use route map, and I called it into BGP. That one matches on those two prefixes. Now, so right now in Tender1, if I do this, it is receiving those same two prefixes also from 10.1.10.1, but the path chosen to those prefixes is the one, like previously mentioned here, prefer the path with the lowest origin type, and IGP is better than incomplete. So prefer IGP to incomplete. Incomplete is now marked with a question mark here. So 10.1.2 and 10.1.4 0/24 is available via two different gateways, but the one that has a code incomplete is worse than the one that has a type IGP. So that's why the path through 10.1.20.2 is preferred over 10.1.10 from R1. So that's yet another way to influence the return traffic into our system when we advertise paths towards certain destinations on more than one exit point towards the same autonomous system.